Hey there, and happy Friday. My name is Russ Lagan, and you are watching the Big Agent Meeting. It is October 25th, and I don't know if you guys know what's coming up next, but bam, things are rocking and rolling. EXPCon starting up actually unofficially tomorrow and Sunday, and then it's going live Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we've got a lot of people out traveling, having a good time, heading their way towards Miami to have the time of their life, to learn something and connect with people again and get plugged in. Super excited to be seeing everybody that's there. So if you're watching this and you see me at EXPCon, make sure you take the time to stop me and say hello. Want to make sure I say hello to every single person I possibly can when I'm there. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you that are going to be there. So today, we've got some pretty cool stuff going on. We're going to start off the show today with doing a real estate market minute. Every week that I'm on here, I'm doing a real estate market minute, so you guys know what's going on in the market. So we're going to start off with that, and then we're going to kick over to Krista Pacheco, Vice President, newly minted Vice President. She just shifted roles, and we're going to be talking to her about what her new role is. And then we're going to kick over to Brian Ellington. He's going to talk a little bit about EXP University, what's coming on with EXP University, and then, of course, going to have agent conversation showing you guys how to build your business and take your business to the next level. So let's kick it right off with the real estate market minute right now. And I want to drop a slide up here real quick so you guys can see what's going on in the real estate market. So this is from NAR, National Association of Realtors. National Association of Realtors is showing right now, as of the end of July, the August numbers were still dragging, 3.95 million homes projected to sell for this year. So that is adjusted annually, which means if everything stays the same, we should end the year right around 3.95 million. Now, a lot of people are talking about this year actually having more home sales and next year even higher. And what we're looking at is it's actually staying a little bit more conservative. Interest rates dropped down a little bit, which made things light up a little bit, and then they went right back up again. So we're expecting probably the next year to be very, very similar, maybe up a little bit in the 4.1, 4.2 million based on the projections. But what that means for you guys is a whole lot's not going to change. It's going to be a lot like this year, next year. So if you're thinking the business is going to change and you don't have to change yourself, you're going to have to make adaptations and make adjustments right now. Also, that showed a 4-month supply of homes, which means we're still a seller's market. And even if it goes up a little bit, goes up by 50% in inventory, that would be what it would take to get us back to a balanced market nationally. Now, again, you guys keep hearing me say this. Make sure you know what's going on in your individual market. So like for me here in Detroit, we're at a 2.3 month supply of homes last month, which means we're substantially below what's going on national average. So check out your numbers, know your math, because remember, when you go out and about, people are going to ask you, how's the market? And you'll have something worthy to talk about and sound like an expert. All right, there's your market minute for this week. And let's kick it off into our leadership corner where we talk to one of our top leaders in the company. We've got none other than Krista Pacheco. Krista, come on down.
Bam! Happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Russ. Can't wait to see you at EXPCon and to give you a big old hug.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's one of my favorite things is getting to see you guys in person. We see each other like this a little bit, and we see each other a lot of stuff in world, but to get to be face to face and toe to toe and shoulder to shoulder, that's one of my favorute things in the world. I'm a people person.
Same. In real life is always the best.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, I heard rumor that you broke your foot.
Two toes.
How did you break 2 toes?
Speak on.
How did you break 2 toes, if you don't mind me asking?
Stubbed it on a nice heavy kitchen stool, the fourth and the pinky. So you'll see me in my black boot at EXPCon.
I like
just in time.
Everybody that's done that just cringed.
Yes.
I know exactly what that feels like. I've only broken 1 toe 1 time, and man, it was brutal.
Not fun.
Well, if you need piggyback rides, just let me know. I could use, you could use me as a piggyback ride.
Okay.
And like, hey, there goes Russ with Krista. Be like your own Uber, or I'd be Sherpa.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to look for you.
All right. So, hey, congratulations. I know you've got a new role, VP of Transaction Operations. I know that's a little bit of a shift for you, but not that big of a shift because you touch pretty much everything in these roles on some levels. So tell me what that role means and what are you doing now?
Yeah, well, it's an expanded role. So still over onboarding operations, but now shifting over into transactions. So I'm coming back home, right? That's where I originally started here at EXP. So it's been a wonderful homecoming for me.
That's fantastic. So what do you guys have going on? So the agents at EXP, they don't realize how many things we're changing all the time to try to make it better. So give us a couple of highlights on what's cracking along right now. What are you working on the most right now?
Yes. Well, I'll start from, the beginning of our agent life cycle here, onboarding. We have tons of cool things going on. We started our onboarding desk. earlier this year, and we are in 8 states. So Arizona, Georgia, California, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, New Jersey, and New York. We'll be launching to an additional 22 states next month, and then all of the country by the beginning of the year.
So let's explain what onboarding desk is. Some people will be like, okay, wow, what is that?
Yeah, so after you get through your joint application, we're plugging you into EXP tools and resources. We have guided group sessions and just walk through everything, right? Passport, sky slope, all the things.
A lot of people come into the company, they get super overwhelmed, and you've heard this story a bunch of times over the years. Like they get bombarded with a bunch of emails going a bunch of different directions. And for people like me that don't love that stuff, it just get frustrated and I feel like I'm lost and then I can't find anything. So this is actually a concierge program where people can actually plug into that, show up, and you'll have a tour guide to help you navigate through all this stuff and to make sure you see and know what's important versus all information versus this is the info you need to be able to move the ball.
Exactly. This is what you should focus on day 1, 2, 3, 4. We take you into the world, all the good stuff. So I'm looking forward to expand that across the country. We're also in commercial already across the country. Good. So we're really looking forward to that expansion and what we'll do for all of our agents.
And I've heard great feedback already about that. So that is fantastic. So good news. I love the fact that solution is in place and it's working well. So good.
Yes. Great feedback, yes. And then we have something that just kicked off last week, and that will show at EXPCon, Join Fast, which is our reduced question conversational join application. We're doing a beta in Florida, since we'll be in Florida, and it's for individual previously licensed agents, and really excited about that too. And then that expansion to other states.
Sounds like you guys just created the Staples version of the easy button.
Exactly.
That was easy. I like that.
Join fast. Yeah.
Join fast. I like that. Good. We got join fast. We got fast cap. We got a lot of fast stuff going here.
We're fast.
Good. All right. Good. What else do you have up your sleeve?
All right. I have more. Team services. We did a lot this year, right? We revamped the team policy, the team documents. We just launched this week the Mega Teams requalification dashboard, and we'll have that standard team dashboard coming shortly after. So as we know, we have the teams dashboard in MyEXP. This really drills down into the requalification areas of the Mega Team. So we're just excited to see those continued enhancements.
So this will help them know where they're at in the progress of making sure they're qualified for Mega Team and hitting icon status, because they have to qualify differently as a Mega Team. So a lot of people are like, I want to be a Mega Team. It's like, by the way, there's some bars you got to get over to be there. So the good news is they're now able to see where they stand on that bar and how close they are. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Good. Love that.
All right, and then transaction stuff. Also worked on a lot this year, real-time payments, right? We're all about paying agents as quickly as possible, right? Fast. Yep. And so we have some tech enhancements and some pilots that will happen in the beginning of the year that I can only tease, can't share too much. But our transactions team always rocks it out. Just the volume of transactions that we handle from all of our amazing agents. It's so cool to see.
A lot of people don't realize how many transactions are going on in EXP on a yearly basis. So what I believe last year, the public note number that we put out was 355,000 plus transactions closed last year.
Yes. So divide that by 12, but think about how many we're handling per month. Yes, our team are rock.
Yeah. So I mean that is an astronomical. So it's 30 plus thousand a month.
That's right. Yeah.
30 plus thousand a month. So that's a lot.
It's a lot of zeros.
Very good. Anything else you got up your sleeve? Anything else you're working on? Christmas presents, maybe?
I know that. That and should we plug Explorer Lounge at EXPCon?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So for those that were able to get that EXP Explorer pass holder, right? You're bringing an agent that's interested in joining. You're going to come through our Explorer Lounge, but please welcome to anyone. I mean, if you guys have questions, we have representation from growth, from onboarding, team services, transactions, brokerage ops. We're all going to be in there. It'll be a party. So we're in the Explorer Lounge. It's on the main expo level, right next to Commercial Lounge.
It's almost always super quiet and calm when you and I are around, isn't it?
Right. Promise I won't bring any bells or noisemakers. Maybe.
Yeah, you know, why not? Party poppers, let's have a good time. Roman candles indoors, not a thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. So the Explore Lounge is if you have a ticket for EXP, you could get a matching ticket for somebody that's not with EXP to bring them around to show them what EXP is all about. And by the way, the close ratio of the people that get brought to Explore to the with the Explore Pass, the closing ratio is astronomical. Because when people get in and they're willing to show up and they're willing to look at it with an open mind, they come in and they're like, wow, we don't roll like this. This is cool. I didn't realize there was this level of business going on just at EXPCon. So we do have a lot of people that we actually close in there. And every year we have people doing the join process while they're at EXP. They're like, this is for me. Let's go.
We will onboard you on site. That's right. So we're open Sunday 4 to 7, Monday, Tuesday 8 to 6, and then Wednesday 8 to 2.
Fantastic. So I will be popping in there and saying hi to everybody and floating around there and making sure that I get to see all of you guys. I cannot wait to see you guys.
Piggyback rides from Russ.
Piggyback rides. Sherpa in the house. All righty. It's great to see you. It's great to have you part of the team. I love doing business with you. I love working with you. And by the way, a couple of other people on the team, we had this conversation yesterday. I'm like, I really like Krista. She's awesome. They're like, we love her too. So you are well loved by the people in the growth department. We appreciate what you do and the skill that you bring in. And
likewise. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me today. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. All right. There you go. Krista Pacheco, VP, taking business to the next level. She's working on projects every single week that benefits you guys on a day-to-day basis. A couple of things to streamline your business and take your business to the next level. All right, next up, we've got EXP University Corner with Brian Ellington. Brian Ellington, take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Katrina, I've been looking forward to this conversation all week. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Now that you're here, same. So for those of you who've not yet had a chance to meet her, Katrina Amaral runs one of our top teams in EXP out of Vancouver, British Columbia. You can see the sign in the background, Katrina and the team, which sounds like a rock and roll band, by the way. I love it. Katrina, could you share maybe a little bit before we get going about yourself and the team and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. I mean, I've been a realtor for almost 20 years. I'm celebrating 20 years next month, and I have a family. I am a mother of 3 children, 11, 13, and 16. I'm married to my business partner, Neil, who helps me run the team. We are co-leaders and co-founders of Katrina and the team. And together we've been in this business of growing and helping people achieve their real estate goals, whether or not they're a realtor or a consumer. Since we started real estate, we have sold over 3,000 homes. And actually in the last 5 years, we've sold 2,000 of that.
Yeah. And how big is your team today?
We have about 50 realtors and over 20 support staff.
Yeah. And just for folks at home, about how many units would you end the year with this year, for example?
Well, this year we're tracking 350 homes sold. And over the last few years, that's where we've been. And that's about 300 million in volume.
Yeah, that's a very good business. And for those of you not familiar, Katrina and I got to know one another when we were talking about referrals. And a big portion of her business comes from referrals. In fact, what percentage of your business would you guess does come from referrals?
Last year, we did 46% of our business. So it's almost 50%. And this year, we actually are tracking to have more. Over the years, of course, it evolves. It used to be higher when we were seriously just focusing on repeat and referral. But as we grew, we realized we can't just focus on that. But that's the foundation, and the key to our success is having that solid repeat and referral business of almost 50%.
Yeah, and I know that doesn't just necessarily happen overnight, but you've been working by referral the entire time, basically, you've been in business. I'm curious, what's your sphere of influence today? But what was it when you started, and how did you bridge that gap? How did you create that sphere of influence?
So that sphere of influence when I started is less than 30. Looking at it, because I was new in the country, I've only been in the country for 6 years, and I was young, and I didn't attend high school here. I attended high school and university in the Philippines, where I came from. I came from a small town in the Philippines. So that 30 was really mainly my parents' friends, my uncles and my aunts, and some people I got to know in university here. So I had less than 30, and now I have over 3,000 in the sphere of influence category in our database, because of the fact that that's been my focus. I am always intentional in growing that sphere of influence. I'm always open, and I'm always looking for ways to connect with people and build relationships.
Yeah, and I'm curious, when you talk about that, was there some form of lead generation or relationship building, whatever you'd like to call it, that you really focused on to go from 30 to 3,000?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot. I'm really intentional about it. I really want to make sure I connect with people every time I have an opportunity. And I always say, you lose the shots you don't take. When I start hesitating, I'm like, oh, do I talk to this person? Number one, I talk to everybody. I'm kind of embarrassing for my kids because I talk to everybody. When we go to the mall, I basically make eye contact and smile at people. And sometimes when they recognize me, or they kind of like, you look familiar, I just, start a conversation. I just say, hey, something. I mean, we've had situations where we're in the park and I talk to people and I just engage in conversation, and I'm curious about people. I'm always curious about people because my thought process is, you never know what value you can bring to this other person. How can I help you? It's just always caring about what other people are, what they're going through. And so I know it sounds like, you're kind of embarrassing to be around, Katrina. Like my kids are like, every time we go to the mall, like I said earlier, they count how many times I will stop to talk to people. And it's a minimum of 4. That's really my goal. And so to me, it's always engaging in conversations, being curious about people. That's one. And it's just always thinking that what you have something to bring to the table for the people you're engaging with. I attend events. I'm always going to parties. So for me, I attend parties, and we've created something in our team, in our business, where we do co-host housewarming parties. And when we
Hmm.
co-host housewarming parties, we naturally get invited because we're bringing the food, right? And I always engage with people in the party. For the most part, when I engage with them, I'm not like, hey, are you buying or selling real estate? No, I'm always just curious. Hey, how do you know Mr. and Mrs. Buyer? Oh, okay. Well, they realize who I am. I'm the realtor. And for the most part, because I brought the food, my clients are raving about me, saying, guess who brought the food? Or when they get asked, like, oh, this food is so good, where did you get it from? Like, I don't know, Katrina brought it. Katrina brought it? Your realtor? Yeah, that's part of the service they provide. And when they realize that, I'm like, my realtor didn't do that. And then we get into an engagement in a communication. And also, we're just asking people what they do for a living. They naturally ask you what you do for a living. And then they're like, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market? And so I engage. And then I make sure that I don't stop there. I add them on Facebook. I find a way to communicate with them. I always just say, hey, if they ask me about real estate, hey, I can keep you in the loop with regards to the real estate market. Would you be open to me sending you this information on a regular basis? Something like that. I always have that in my mind, where how can I stay in touch with this person? How can I provide value? And just being curious about them.
Yeah, and I think that's. I was going to ask you how you're transitioning that kind of initial introduction into an ongoing relationship, and I think that's a brilliant strategy. I'm curious, is there anything of value that you're offering to them, or right from the beginning? Are you saying, hey, can I send you this, or hey, can I give you that, or do you wait on that?
I always, when they ask me about real estate, they're always curious and they start asking me, how's the market, right? I'm like, would this be something of value to you? So I have this, it's a conversation piece that I use. Like, well, would you be open to receiving this type of communication on a monthly basis? It's something that I provide to the people that I serve, right? So that's one way. And then I ask them, okay, they usually say, yeah, absolutely. I'm always curious. And the other script that I use is, would you be curious to find out how much your home is worth? Because sometimes they ask for a reason, like, and when I do that, I always make sure I don't sound salesy. I always am curious. Would you be open to doing this? Are you curious about the value of your home? Sometimes I ask them, oh, well, whereabouts do you live? Oh, the market in that neighborhood is really, really strong. Would you be open? The key phrase is, would you be open to receiving this type of information from me? Because most people don't want to
Who's
say
gonna
no.
say no?
Minded.
Yeah, who's going to say no to that? No one's
Yeah.
going to say no. And
Yeah.
I like your point about, being interested in order to be interesting, right? Asking questions coming from curiosity. I think a lot of us get in our heads about, I don't want to sound salesy, and especially with the people in our sphere of influence, that's a really big turnoff. And unfortunately for a lot of agents, that translates into, therefore I'm not going to pick up that phone, or therefore I'm not going to have that conversation. And I like that you actually kind of transcend that and get past. A friend of mine used to say, build a bridge and get over yourself. You build a bridge, get over yourself, and really get into that conversation with them, just asking great questions.
Yeah, my approach is always, well, if I don't ask this question, I already got to know anyways. And what's the worst that could happen? They tell me, no, Katrina, I already have a realtor. And when that happens, actually, when people say, oh, I already have a realtor, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's, you don't have to hire me as your realtor. You don't have to be moving to connect with me. I just want to make sure I'm here available for you as a resource. And a lot of the times, they end up working with us because it's like over the years. It's not like tomorrow they're going to buy, but it's always thinking, if I don't ask, it's already a no.
That's
and
right.
It won't kill me. I tell my kids, did you die? It won't kill me to ask. And yeah, it might be awkward, but nobody died from being awkward. Not that I know.
Yeah. Well, and I suspect that after having done 3,000 homes and half of those through referrals, that awkwardness is long gone. Through practice, you've gotten probably very smooth in your approach and how you talk to people. And I probably assume it's very natural for you at this point. I'm curious because we're doing an Elevate coaching program. You were kind enough to agree to do that with us, creating raving fans. And I know part of that is, getting referrals is asking for that. And you talked a little bit about that, but part of that is just delivering great service. Any thoughts for everybody out there about how we can up our game in terms of the service that we provide our clients to really earn those referrals?
Absolutely. My principle is always providing people with extraordinary service because people are worthy. We think about our job as like someone who's taking orders for the most part. Like, oh, I don't want to ask, or I don't want to be over too much. But, when I'm working with someone, I want to make sure it's like a magical experience. It's like going to an all-inclusive resort where you will remember going there, and a lot of people like being able to be served and be treated really well because you're worthy. And my approach is everyone's worthy of an extraordinary service because this is one of their biggest assets that they're selling or buying. For the most part, most people, regardless if it's a mobile home or a mansion, most people spend at least 25 to 30 years to pay off their mortgage. So my approach is providing extraordinary service because they're worthy, and I'm worthy of being able to provide that service to the clients. So we have a white glove service that we provide our clients, which is what created that raving fan, because when you like something, you talk about it. When you don't like something, you also talk about it. But when I use this pizza analogy, where we got into pizza lately, and it was such an amazing pizza. All I can do is talk about the pizza that I had yesterday, and I bring my friends there. I talk about it. I gave them a 5-star Google review because I really enjoyed the pizza, and the service was amazing. They called me by my name, and they were just so attentive to my needs. It's simple as pizza, but let alone a home, right? So we provide extraordinary service to the people we serve. So the first part is making that connection, because if you don't make the connection, there's no one to serve. And then I serve them with magical experience. I think about Disneyland as well, where it's a magical experience. So we think about everything that we can to make sure that it's not overwhelming for our clients, because real estate can get overwhelming. It's a big decision after all. So we think about the little things, the things that would help make them feel more comfortable. When we have a new client, we make sure that when we first meet with them, they feel special. We send them a video and saying, I'm looking forward to meeting with you. We send them some sort of a reminder without having to feel like I'm salesy. And when we meet with them, we give them something tangible that looks really special and personalized. Like, when you walk into a 5-star hotel, and if not even a 5-star hotel, even a 3-star hotel, on the TV, it says, welcome Brian Ellington, or welcome Ellington family. So I bring them something that's customized and personalized and says, prepared especially for the Ellington family. And so they feel special. They feel like we thought about this. And then it goes all the way from when they decide to list with us. We provide them with boxes. We get the boxes delivered to their front door. On closing day, we have moving day lunch. We show up with moving day lunch and some, like, a bunch of, our gift to our clients is actually a moving day survival kit. It's nothing fancy. It has toilet paper. It has paper towel. It has door stoppers, first aid kit. It's nothing fancy. It's not. I don't give out those fancy baskets because they never get opened and they expire. Where in that, they open it right away.
Right.
And so they tell me, like, you've thought about everything, Katrina, and they feel special. And it's those simple things that gives them that magical experience.
Yeah, I think we tend to think in terms of wow moments, and you do have wow moments, co-hosting the party, bringing food, things like that. But I think also that just having a series of moments, like just unexpected, not over the top. Oh my gosh, she shouldn't have spent $5,000 on this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But just those little thoughtful details that number one, underscores the fact that you're thinking about them. Number two, understands that you're a professional expert guide at this. You know that come moving day, they're going to be looking for toilet paper. You know that, you know what I mean? Just those little moments. And I know in the program, you lay that out beautifully for everybody to kind of understand where those opportunities are. I'm curious, when you talk about your sphere, right? So you talked about when you first meet somebody and getting them into conversation, into relationship. How do you go about being purposeful in terms of asking for those referrals ongoing? Are you waiting until the transaction is over? Are you doing it every conversation? Like, what's your methodology?
So every opportunity that I get, I ask in a way that makes them feel good. It's not always just like, okay, when am I gonna throw this line, right? It's just more of, hey, Brian, did you find value in our conversation today, in our meeting today? Is this something that you would help you with your decision? Yes,
Sure.
for the most part, yes, right? I bring value, I bring the skills, I ask them what they need. And then I ask them, do you know someone who also can benefit from this type of information? You saw how I presented to you. I'm not going to push you to buy or sell anything. I provide you something of value. If you do come across someone, would you give me a call or send me a text with their name and number, and I'll follow up for you? So every time I have an opportunity that, hey, I provided you something of value, if you know someone who can also benefit from this type of information, keep me in the loop, because I don't charge for it. It's a complimentary market evaluation or just a quick consultation. I'm here to be of service, and they're happy to do it. You know what? Actually, I was just talking to my coworker about it. Well, I always also don't say, well, give them my number. No, I always just say, would you be open to giving me their name and number, and I'll follow up for you. I ask for the name and the phone number, because for the most part, it takes 4 miracles before they actually call you if you just give them your card. I always ask, so then I'm more proactive. It's the same thing when I refer people to our mortgage broker. I always say, can I give them your name and number so they can follow up for you? Because a lot of things, people are busy, they forget. And so for the most part, I always just make sure I close the loop. I always ask for the name and phone number of the referral. And it doesn't hurt to ask.
No, I mean, again, the worst thing they're going to say is no. And most people feel really awkward about saying no. And if you've asked it in the right manner, you're not going to create any undue awkwardness and getting them to want to help you. I'm curious, do you reward referrals in any way?
Very simple rewards. It's not necessarily something crazy because, I mean, when you're doing 300 transactions in a year, sometimes half of that is referral. Like in our case, it's half the referral. So of course we want to show them how much we appreciate them. I always send them a thank you for referring Brian to me, and be assured I will take great care of them. Number one, acknowledgement, acknowledging the referral, gratitude. And then when the referral is completed, we send them something small, something thoughtful, giving them something that they can use. And it's nothing substantial because then, I want to make sure it's sustainable as well over time. I don't want to also make them feel bad about the gift. They refer to us because they know we will take great care of their clients.
Right.
I mean, so their friends or their family, because they won't be embarrassed to refer us. I've had people call me asking for financial reward, and I always explain to them, I'd love to be able to do that, but that's something that we don't do in our team. I want you to know that your friends or your relatives that you're referring to us is well taken care of, and we appreciate you. When you refer to us, though, you become part of our client appreciation program. You are invited to our client appreciation events where we host about 8 to 10 a year, depending on the season as well, and how life is for the most part. But we host that where we provide something of like outside of real estate, where, like, for example, we are hosting a client appreciation event in November featuring the movie Moana. So I tell them, like, you get to be part of this community. If you refer to us, you get to be part of this community. Because sometimes it's just out of nowhere, I get a call. I've heard about you, Katrina. I want to refer my friend. Do you pay me a referral fee? And I say, thank you. Appreciate the thought that you're referring me. We do not pay referral fee. However, we get to invite you to our events and you get to be part of this community. And of course, your friend will be thankful to you for referring them to us, because they will be experiencing this extraordinary service, and we will take great care of them for you.
Yeah. And I know in your program, you go in great length. We've been kind of going high level, but the client parties, you go a great length and talk about those. You talk about asking for referrals in various ways and the value you can bring and things like that. Before I let you go, any parting advice for agents when it comes to increasing their efficacy at getting referrals?
Well, number one, it's really always creating that conversation. So creating the opportunity to have a conversation and creating that never-ending relationship by staying in touch, providing value. And then number two is really providing extraordinary service to the people you serve. Always think of how you can serve them better. Look at the ways that can make them feel special because they're worthy. And number three is going beyond real estate. It's really something that, yes, we're in this business. It's a for-profit business, but we also are gifted with the opportunity to give back to the community. So think beyond real estate, think bigger than real estate. And so once you do that and you put it all together, you will attract them. You don't necessarily have to be chasing people. It's more of attracting people and building the relationships. You lose the shots you don't take, and people will not remember what you said. People will not remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. So it's really important to make people feel valued and make them feel worthy.
That's awesome. Okay, so a couple of upcoming dates before I let you go. So your program, Creating Raving Fans, How to Earn and Ask for Massive Referrals, that's going to start November 13th at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 2 p.m. Eastern. And then it's going to go for 6 weeks. And we're taking into consideration the U.S. Thanksgiving. By the way, happy Canadian Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving day with your family. But before that, you're doing a couple of free opportunities for folks. First off, you're going to be at EXPCon next week. So we're looking forward to the session you're going to be doing there. But you're doing an Instagram Live with us on the 5th at 4:15 Eastern. So if you're not subscribed to the eXp Realty Instagram channel, do, and you'll be able to see Katrina on there on November 5th. And then on November 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern, you're doing an entire session free for everybody on referrals. And we'll send that information out for everybody as well. I think we can probably put it in the chat so everybody has that information too. So thank you very much for doing all of that for the eXp family. We really appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you at EXPCon.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that too.
All right. Thanks, Katrina. All right, back to you guys.
All righty. Thank you, Brian. What an interview. Brian Ellington, pulling out the best. One of the things I really like about Brian is he has the ability to pull the best out of people. So thank you, Katrina, for taking the time and energy and sharing your wisdom and knowledge. We really appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you for that segment. And Brian, great job again, as always. So we're going to wrap up the show today a little quicker than normal, which is because we've got a lot of things going and a lot of things coming with EXPCon, and I'm getting ready to jump on an airplane. I'm out of here coming up real soon. Before we go, a couple things I want to make sure you guys are aware of. If you are going to EXPCon, KGCI Radio is going to be live in person there. Actually, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I will be recording a show with my counterpart, Frank Panunto, other VP East Coast. We're going to have a number of our people in EXP doing different segments on KGCI Radio live from the EXP Expo Center. And also on top of that, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, there's a pickleball competition going on. And for a extend a hand charity benefit, you'll have the opportunity to play against some of the executives of EXP in a quick pickleball round. By the way, my name apparently just got thrown on that list. So if you want to kick my butt at pickleball, I will be dressed like this, but I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight to win. So if you want to come, donate some money to Extend a Hand. Let's take that challenge. I'm coming for you. Be ready when you show up. All right. So there you go. There is a show for today. Thank you for being here. We got the NPS survey. Last thing we're going to do here today, grab that NPS, open up your camera, click on that QR code and give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How did we do today? How did you like the show? If there's anything you'd like to make as a suggestion, don't hesitate to type that in either. If we did a good job, give us a good high score. Give us a 10 if we did a great job today. We always appreciate your feedback and look at that every single Monday morning to make sure we're taking this business to the next level. That's it for this week. And I want you guys to stay tuned for iConversations coming up at the top of the hour. We'll see you guys next week.